But you have to hold the phone long because it will get long.
Not only will it make it easier for you to make videos more quickly and efficiently, but it will also raise the general standard and consistency of your content. And since we're talking about templates, you might want to consider doing the same for your thumbnails. This can be fonts, colour schemes, general layouts of thumbnails. It's even easier to see a lack of consistency in thumbnails since every single one looks like it's made from a completely different channel, yet it's from the same creator. If you make videos every single day, just miss one day and create a template video project.
You
can consider this a very short-term sacrifice.
50 people there, so all the people have fun.
Versus
a people then did have
not 50 people.
Hours of time on this YouTube
Make it true. I wonder why I can't find out more for no reason.
No more not there.
50 people did it, I'm making it true, so more did it.
But if you are finding it hard to keep up with the relentlessness of YouTube, try to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint, and we should know after 1,700 videos. And after 1,700 videos, we have had some small degree of success on YouTube. And so have many other creators with a lot more success than us. So is imitation the best form of epic YouTube winning? Now sure, Mr. Beast, the North Star, is a huge hit on YouTube and elsewhere. But remember, success doesn't look the same for absolutely everyone, especially when it comes to creative stuff. Just copying what he or your favourite creator does doesn't make you an instant star. Think about it. There are literally millions of other channels trying to do pretty much the same as what Mr. Beast does. So you've got to ask yourself, do you just want to be another fish in the Mr. Beast sea when there is such a huge fish consuming everything already? And perhaps, more importantly, will that work for your fishermen, your audience? Does this metaphor make any sense? Here's something to chew on. If every single director copied the Barbie routine, would you enjoy a broad range of films? Probably not. That's why a film like Oppenheimer also exists.
That's a real free for you.
Like different films. And so the same should go for your YouTube strategy. Oh, and hot take, I actually preferred Barbie a lot more than Christopher Nolan's latest Confusion Fest. Anyway, think about what channels you love watching. What draws you in? Is it their uniqueness or their cool content or both? Whatever answer is obvious to you, use that same philosophy for your channel. Simply put, make the kind of videos you would want to watch. Remember, YouTube is a huge place with all kinds of viewers.
Run there.
2 billion. Absolutely short, fast, exciting videos attract a big audience. But there's also longer educational videos that appeal to a more chilled, curious audience. For every Mr. Beast style channel, there is another one that, say, charts the history of the UK road system, which only you thought you were interested in until you saw this channel getting hundreds of thousands of views. As a creator, definitely over the long term, you need to stay true to yourself. If your content or the style that you present doesn't match your real authentic vibe, over time that's just going to wear you out. Then comes burnout, and finally,
you done the video. You must get a lot of subscribers.
Nobody ever wants to feel.
Because
in a sense, you want to
Free
try
Fire
and
get a lot of
reach their level of enthusiasm for as long as possible. And I believe I've still got it after over a decade of content creation. And I want you to share that same relentless energy for creativity, no matter how long you're on YouTube for. New YouTubers are often told to do a lot of research, to study successful channels and think about titles and thumbnails before they've even posted their very first video. But do you really need to do all of that research right away? If you think about it for a second, how can you research what will make your content successful if you don't even know what type of content you want to make? Starting off with a ton of analysis often leads to paralysis when you never actually get started, and it can erode your originality. The main thing, especially in my experience, is to get out there and break that YouTube fear. Get started. Make videos for the love and passion of sheer creativity. I think all creators, to some extent, need to go through a somewhat YouTube rite of passage to figure out whether they actually enjoy the process of making videos on YouTube, as opposed to the idea of making YouTube videos. Because the reality is quite different to the perception. So let's say you have a cool idea for a baking show where you teach with your kids, something that mixes learning and fun. don't overthink it. Do it and see where it leads. The research can come later when you say to yourself, I love doing YouTube, but now I need to learn how to find an audience. When you ask the big successful creators what was their biggest regret, there is a common answer. I wish I would have started sooner. We recently ran a poll on the YouTube community tab asking people if they had started their YouTube channels. Incredibly, almost 20% of the vidIQ community, you know, that's people who want to grow their channels, haven't actually started their own channels. But when you read the comments of the other 80%, they have no regrets. They're loving every single minute of the YouTube journey. Now don't get us wrong, research, ideas, titles, thumbnails, they're all really, really important. But in my humble opinion, they don't need to be the focus at the very start. Your content and you should be the star, and as you get to know your audience, you can start to tweak the titles and the thumbnails and perfect the package. You don't want goals, outcomes, and expectations getting in the way of the simple pleasure and sheer innocence of pressing record and having fun. Be patient with this concept of channel growth. There will be time, a lot of time in the future, if you enjoy this YouTube gig, to put time into research and buying better equipment and perfecting titles and thumbnails. At the beginning, just let your creativity, your passion, your enthusiasm guide you. What shouldn't be guiding you is stuff like SEO, search engine optimization. And should it ever these days? There is a long-held belief on the internet at large that if you want your content, whatever it is, to be discovered, you need to focus on SEO. But in this day and age, we need a new, fresh perspective. YouTube isn't a search engine for the majority of channels. What's usually a lot more important is to get casual viewers to click on your content and watch for longer. This over-reliance on search and keywords started to be debunked by YouTube almost half a decade ago, when they basically said that video tags weren't worth diddly squat. Now you can still see what video tags creators are using on their videos through the vidIQ tools. But these days it reflects more what the creator was researching when it came to the keywords, rather than a strict intent to rank for those keywords on YouTube. Now that doesn't mean to say that you should totally ignore SEO. When there is a certain viewer intent, they need an answer to a question, you want to pitch your video to answer that question, and SEO comes into play. And YouTube does say when they have very little information about your channel or your video because nobody discovered them yet, that including some keywords helps describe the content at a very basic level. That's why often smaller channels do get their first viral moment through a search-based piece of content. But for most channels, it shouldn't stay like that. You want to move into browse-based traffic as soon as you can. The main thing to remember is that while SEO can help get you started, it isn't the magic formula. The much fabled YouTube algorithm is far more interested in audience behavior than how well you have optimized the metadata. If you hold really tightly and dearly onto this notion that SEO is more important than the video idea, the title, the thumbnail, the curiosity that packaging creates, then basically you're missing out on 70% of all potential YouTube views. Because search traffic accounts for 30% of all YouTube. You'll get stuck being a utility channel, where somebody finds one of your videos, finds it really useful, but never comes back to anything else because you basically answered their question. Instead, you need to connect to a human, more emotional level. Speak your audience's language, share their values, to make your channel a permanent, welcoming home to your community, rather than a one-time destination for a customer. I don't know if this will come as a surprise to you, but only 15% of our long-form video views come from YouTube search. You would think that most people would discover vidIQ through searching for how to grow your channel, how to get more views, how to get more subscribers, how to monetize my YouTube channel. But that's simply not the case. We get a lot more of our views from browse and suggested.
You're not better than me. That girl
most of our search traffic these days comes from YouTube Shorts. Go figure. But while we're on the subject of numbers and data, another thing that you shouldn't get too caught up in
back all the way back to shore.
Analytics. They're a tool, not a gun. And as we've said, at first you should be mainly focusing on enjoying making videos, improving your skills, figuring out what works best for your audience. Now, when you start out on your YouTube journey, you might think that every single
This is getting so down.
or the silver book. Well, does such a
How
thing
does this
really
go?
exist? Well, here's the truth, and it may annoy you a little bit because it's a little bit.
Why
Everyone
is this
has their own way of
sorry?
doing things. For some, posting
Cream,
every
get
2 weeks
disgusting
is the way
cream.
to go. For others, they'll swear by daily
Oh,
updates. The same goes for editing. Some will pour
Finally
millions of
moved
hours
this
into
Spanish
their work,
word.
making it in
This
tiny
girl
bits
lead
to
me so
replicate,
far.
whereas others will sit down, press record, and just have that magnetic charisma. This is why
Finally.
quite often when I ask a question about
For a
YouTube
while
growth,
now.
you might give the rather annoying answer of, well, it depends. YouTube
My
is
last
literally
friends
a place
was
for
not
everything.
playing,
You don't need a
but I
super
still
professional video
win.
to go viral. Sometimes a simple handheld shot
I
of a
still
raw,
win
authentic moment.
with my old
Now, I
self.
would argue that all
I get
YouTubers to
very
a certain degree are perfectionists. And that's why you've got
Oh
to remember
my
that
God.
done is better than perfect.
Yeah,
Especially again
dirty
when
boy.
you're a new YouTuber, because you don't know if you're
Only
perfect
two got
actually
me.
works with your audience. Don't get
Not
so
this.
focused that you lose sight of the big picture. Don't
You
just
need
grind
to
away
find a
trying to
gun
make
yet?
the perfect
You're a
thumbnail. Just
noob.
look through it a little bit without considering whether the video idea
I'm trying to
is one
find
in
the
first
best
place,
one
and
ever.
The title creates curiosity. It can be too easy to get wrapped up in doing
No.
what you love doing
And
the
again,
sacrifice of
Obama.
many other things that need
My
to
friend
be
is
done.
so
YouTube
strong
is
going
one
right
of the most multidisciplinary things you may attempt in your entire life. Because not only do you need an unrivaled,
1 million
dare I say,
subscribers.
unhealthy passion for something in the world, you've got to take
I'm a
all that,
YouTuber.
wrap it up into
I'm
content
literally
creation,
video on
which is a
this.
whole different skill set. Look, at the end of the YouTube
I'm a
day,
YouTuber.
it should always be
I'm
about
video on
doing
this.
what you love and connecting with
I have
an
12
audience
million
that audience
subscribers.
can be a few hundred or a few million. The most
Oh,
important
shut
thing
up,
is that you make that
Potato
audience,
Man.
whatever size it is, feel something about your content. You want
You
your content
potato
to make
doodle.
your viewers say to
A
themselves,
potato hamburger.
this video, this channel is made for me. And if that message
Peasant.
resonates with you, then this video will show you how two
Come here,
creators got
boy.
over 1 billion views,
Come here, boy.
2 million subscribers
Come here.
in just a year. And they
Come
did
here,
it
hot
without
dog.
sticking to a
Eat
niche and breaking pretty much
I go eat
every
it.
single rule in the YouTube playbook.
Faster than the boy. Faster than the boy. Faster than. What do you do with this?
Good morning, guys.
Oh my
Today is a
God.
beautiful day. You're hearing up.
No, you ugly.
Some fish bundle up here.
Dude, kick off that gun.
See where we
One of them. The one with the color them. Kick off that gun with the one with the color. Right now.
I know some of you.
Kick off that gun right now. You ugly. Mickey.
DJ Rose.
É,
Some of you remember one
This
day
Mickey Mouse
he
is
said
bothering
some
me,
cash
Grandma.
to take his kid.
His ugly face.
So that being said, is
Girl, shut up.
it's been very sad.
If I'd gone cause you.
The family lost her. When she used to work here, she used to
Stress
no.
up.